Well, we had 7 children in the family. You can imagine the chaos that goes along with 7 children. You didn't always get everything that you wanted. So the whole idea of sacrifice, I think we were taught at a very early age. My dad was always very insistent with all of us when we were given something to be certainly grateful, and if we ever got in a position, to be able to help other people. Very fortunate that I was able to get a scholarship to Notre Dame. I was able to play a few years with the Jets. And after that, I had a couple successful businesses. And as time went on and I got back involved in both teaching as well as coaching at the high school level, you start realizing the importance of where those 4 years are in their lives. Yeah, as far as our standards, we have basically 4 components that we look to in terms of being able to, that someone has to be involved with. One of those, they have to maintain a certain academic standard. They have to be involved in the athletics. I learned so much, and my brothers and sisters learned so much about leadership development and leadership skills from our athletics that we feel that that's an important part of what it is that we do. Spiritual development, they have to be a bit, spiritually in developing the whole person, I think is something that not only the Catholic Church looks to do, but I think that if we're going to have great leaders in the future, great leaders have to be formed in all aspects. They have to, their whole person has to be developed. And then finally, we talked about that mentor component. Very few high school kids look at their parents as being the end all as far as knowledge goes. It's just the way it is. I'm dumb old dad, to my 16-year-old right now. But from a standpoint of being able to have, whether it be a Paul Smith or a John Parker or a Bill Straub when we're at Muller High School, who are assistant coaches for Jerry, we didn't have to go to Jerry. We were able to go around Jerry a lot of times to be able to deal with and get our problems solved. Those people were mentors to us, and that's one of the components that we've tried to put together within the Crable Foundation that I just found immeasurably important. The difference right now between private and public education revolves around, some of the disciplines, specifically the sacrifice that parents, holy smokes, the Catholic education now is somewhere between $8,000 and $12,000. There are definitely some sacrifices that need to be made within the family. What I witnessed at Muller, the kids that were successful traditionally had, great family support. And a lot of the kids that weren't successful, struggled with that. Might not have had the same support that some of the other kids had. Seeing young men who don't have structure in their lives, who don't have the ability to, the discipline, all the things that sometimes you need other people to hold you accountable for. The failure rate with people who don't have that is so much higher than the failure rate for people who, whether they have solid families or whether they have, a great set of friends, whether they have people that will hold them accountable. I think that that's a very big part of what it is that, that we can provide, within a young man or a young woman's life. That told you about, a young lady who is now at Carnegie Mellon playing basketball, who was our first full graduate. Came all the way through and went through her whole high school career being part of the Crable Foundation. She still speaks with her mentor and just has wonderful things to say about the experience that she has. So a lot of good kids involved in what we do. So many good people that when you get good people involved in what you do, things just seem to perpetuate themselves. Probably more importantly than just identifying people who might give money. These are people who are also bringing other people into what it is that we do. I talk about the sky being the limit. This could be an incredible venture in 5 years. My goal is to try to give away $250,000 a year, and trying to do that in the greater Cincinnati area. And to be in a position where, being able to do it, think about how many kids that we can help. We're still young enough as far as a foundation goes in helping young men and young women that, a lot of the success stories hopefully are on the horizon.